Good morning. My pleasure to be on the show.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure having you. All right, first of all, we know that this P2B, recently reignited the idea of a single term presidency, pledging to serve for only one term if elected. Now, what would you say, in your opinion, is the motivation, behind the statement? Do you think that it is a sincere proposal, or maybe there is a strategic political move, to win trust and support from the people?
Mr. Peter Obi being a candidate in the last presidential election is an understatement to say that he has a vested interest in running for the presidency. And when he proposed the issue of that he would serve for a single term, well, it is considered in the larger society of politicians as a gimmick to allow him to allow him, favoritism towards having that position. You know, the last time we had election in 2023, he fell out with his former principal, that is former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, and each one of them run individually. While in the 2019, he runs as a running mate for the vice presidents with Atiku Abubakar. So I think now two of them having fallen into a single party, that is the ADC, I think it could be looking that way. And whoever look it from that angle, I think has every reason to look at it that way. But Mr. Peter Obi was just suggesting that he will run for only a single term. That does not mean that he advocated for a single term presidency in Nigeria. But with that, there was a great advocacy in the past that Nigeria should have a single term presidency, but we know the system as it stands under our constitution. It is a 4-year term which can be run for consecutively or not consecutively for just 2 terms for the president and as well as the governors. I think what Nigerians really need to understand and concentrate upon is that it is not a matter of the systems. All the system that we're advocating to have, I think you can find another climb where they worked. The 2-term presidency had worked for the United States and a lot of countries in the world, and it can work for Nigeria. And even if we opted for the single presidency, same could be said. But we always tend to think that amending the system will cure our inadequacies as a nation and individuals and our mindset, which is what is bedeviling this country. So I would rather want us to look at our problems and try to solve them. And to this end, I want to refer us to a philosopher who had said something. He said that the soul of a human being by nature is transgressive. I mean, willing to take, being so selfish, self centered. He said that whenever you find someone of rectitude, of moral uprightness, he can only be so for 2 reasons. One, his conviction, religious conviction, and moral background. And the other is the law that will catch up for him where fall out. So in this nation, what we lack is the society, our laws, and our system to be catching up with the corrupt practices and some of our inadequacies. I think that's where all the system we have are not working.
All right. And also, we see that this pledge that Obi made was tied to an unwritten, rotational power sharing agreement. So I'd like to know, how significant is this rotational agreement in Nigeria's political culture, and why do you think that, Obi chose to anchor his pledge in that agreement?
Well, Mr. Obi is understandable if he advocated for a rotational system. because, when he vied for the office in the last time, on what, conditions and where he tried to make his case that a certain part of the country, particularly the Southeast, has not produced a president. I think it will give him an edge if we have a reputational system. A lot of people, it will give him a greater chance to be in the president's seat. My opinion is that, for me, my opinion is that tribalism and regionalism should not be entrenched in our system. It should not be entrenched, meaning if you based our elections on regional or tribal, paradigms, I think we only invite such things to remain with us forever. What am I trying to say? You see, even the constitutions we have for the parties and for the country, when we talk of these things, we say they are gentleman's agreement. Because ordinarily, a democracy is just for what people choose for themselves. And it does not have another connotation that it has to be splitted regionally or what. Why I'm saying this, in the best democracies we copy today, if it were to be like that, it wouldn't have been so. Obama was chosen as the president of the United States despite being a Negro, a black man. And we advocated for a female presidency going up, right and wrong, and trying to earmark some seats for women. And all those undermine the idea principle of democracy, which allow for free choosing of whoever you want. I think living it, if we in principally we believe that people should choose what you like, we should live it like that. If now we make it, a regional issue, it means we are entrenching that division to remain for us forever. For me, I look forward to a time where in Nigeria, where you need to stand the issue of North or South or Southeast or Southwest, or being a Northerner or being a Southerner is not a question. People will have right. And I think if we have issues like independent candidature, all these things will be of relic, because at any time people will come and stand, and that will do away with all those, affinities, natural affinities that tend to get away in our way of progression as a country. So to me, I think we will grow of age. No matter where a person comes, if he can deliver, I believe Nigerians will vote for him. And ordinary Nigerians, I think that's how they live. When you look at our people in our markets, you see them forming businesses, alienation, inclination, without regard to region or tribe of a person, but what he possesses in his mind will allow you to do business with him, and you see them working out. So I don't want the politicians to be overflogging this and continue to entrench and make these divisions a foundation, which will not augur well for us, because we'll continue forever to be fighting among ourselves.
All right. And now we're seeing that some critics or some people are of the opinion that this single term, does not provide enough time for a president to implement long-term reforms or, whatever plan that he has for the country. So now, do you share the same? Do you share the same opinion as well? Do you think that 4 years is enough or is not enough for a president to perform well during his tenure?
I think 4 years is enough, because for what we are now, after every 4 years, there would be an election. Whether a president or a governor has done what he is supposed to be voted again, remain to be the case. So I think 4 years should be enough for any politicians to make his mark as to whether he is there to serve the people, and the people will be able to see whether he can do it. Let me come back to this issue of single term. I think we are trying to solve some of our inadequacies, as I raised earlier on, by just looking at maybe a system. If we choose another system, it will solve that problem for us. I want us to know that that will not be the case. Take, for example, all our politicians under their first term who are seeking to have re-election, they tread on a rod of caution, not to implement, to cause issues that may not get them likely re-elected after the first term. So you see, you find them to be on trade of caution, looking at what the electors will think. So trying to do their best. So you tend to see, power-centered politicians acting in ways unimaginable to the electorates when they are in their second term. They know they don't have any other chance. They don't have to be apologetic to anyone, and that their true color will come to light. So these issues are things that, reside in the mind of a human being, and the system which will checkmate whoever is being excess in using power when he had it. So if now we have a single term system, it means that whoever comes will act in a way that he feels he need to, regardless of any consideration to please the electorates for a second term. So you see, if we are thinking that it is a problem solver, it's not completely a problem solver. I think the problem solver has to do with which kind of politicians we elect to the offices, and also to entrench our system so that it can checkmate the politicians, whether it is on the part of the executive, where we have a parliament that is working as a good parliament to overlook the excesses of the executive. As well, the judiciary is there to put an eye on both of these arms of government.
All right, and I understand, when you say that does not solve the problem already, but do you think in any way that this single-term presidency could help or improve with governance, or create room for an effective governance, as opposed to having the opportunity to come back, just like you've mentioned?
Is it okay?
I think it can in another way, because but it's not going to change things that drastically, because you see, when people are vying for second term, they do all what they need to come back to office. Regardless of whether they are coming back for the second term, even if there's no second term, you can see how politicians will do all what it takes to ensure that whoever succeeds them is someone they put in place. So I think it will help in a very small measure in our system, provided we remain the way we are when it comes to the kind of people we choose, and when we have a weaker check and balances in the system. So whether it is a single term or it is the 2 terms that we have, I think they could always be exploited and not work out for the country as we so wish. So to me, I think it's not, we should not waste much time to think of these systems. We rather think of the kind of people we will want to choose in office. Because if you have a good leader that has done very, very well in 4 years, I think it's nothing wrong for giving him another 4 years to do more of what he has done. So, but no matter how good he is, if he did 4 years and you cannot have him for another 4 years, I think it does not help the country. For me, really, I don't mind much about whether it is 2 term or a single term, but I really rather that we have a clean election, and that the intra-political party system will help us to, because in the primaries and what have you, that's where you have a lot of shady issues. The parties are so weak that even if you have candidates that are of a greater stature and people who want, they hardly make it as the winners of the primaries. So if we have strong internal party democracy that allow us to have strong leaders and also a good electoral process, I think it will be better for the country rather than being distracted with these issues of single term, circle term. And we now feel that it's like this will solve our problem. It really is not a problem solver to me.
All right. Now let's look at the reactions that have, been trailing in since Obi made this proposition of going for a single term. Now we've had people, politicians like Governor Soludo, and even the presidency. Some are accusing him of hypocrisy and saying a lot of other things. Now, what do you think about these reactions that are coming in and these opinions that are coming in since he made that statement?
Well, in the political arena, I think it's normal thing to say because these are people that they are not Peter Obi and Soludo are not birds of the same feather. Look at former Governor Peter Obi is formerly from the Labour Party and now moving to the ADC, while Governor Soludo comes out from Abga Party. So you can see their interests are divergent. And so coming from the same region, you see they have a political rivalry. So it's ordinary for him, if he made such statements, for them to take advantage of such statements and hit at him. And I think that's what happened. And even the incumbent government, he had contested with the current president. So when they have the chance to take
every second, every minute, every day, news is breaking, events occur, and there are new developments. At Signature TV, we follow these stories objectively, bringing all sides without bias, explaining the complex issues, breaking down the numbers, and investigating the issues behind the news. Anywhere and everywhere, near or far, wherever the news is, we will be there. Signature TV. News in your pocket.